Hey everybody, and welcome to the Harrison County Library System's online computer classes. My name's Jeff Conwell and I work at the Orange Grove Public Library. If you ever have any questions, come on up here on Old Highway 49 and come give me a visit and ask me a question or two. Today's class we're going to learn about social media. And everybody knows that the internet has changed things in a massive way. Well, social media has done that to extremes, as we all know and hear about in the news today. We're going to go over some basic social media platforms, and we're going to start out with, but before, let me explain a little bit what social media is. It's defined as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content to participate in what's called social networking. And social networking is the use of the internet-based social media sites to stay connected with friends, family, colleagues, customers, or clients. The most popular ones, as of July of 2021, are ranked by the number of active users. And if you can see up at the top, you got Facebook with over 2,853,000,000 users. And we all know what happens when the Facebook goes down. So keep in mind that nothing's going to beat just face-to-face stuff, but this is the way things are today. So anyway, you got Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, Wixen or WeChat, TikTok, QQ, Douyin, Telegram, Sina, Weibo, Snapchat, Kawaii Show, Pinterest, Reddit, Twitter, and Quora. Those are just a few. Believe me, that's not all of them by far. Facebook by far is the most widely used social platform there is. It lets you share photos, videos, links, status updates, and much more with your friends and anybody else who can see your account. And how it works is you create a Facebook account. To create a Facebook account, you just go to the web and type Facebook. When you go to the Facebook website, you'll see a screen that looks like this. After you've entered in your info and successfully signed in, your screen will look like this. And we're going to explain all the different parts of it so you can see how it works. The news feed is a stream of posts and updates from your friends and the Facebook pages you follow. It's like anybody that you're contacted with, it'll be like one big long blog or newsletter, video stream, all that stuff. It'll be everything all together. And then if you want to add to your story, here's where you're going to input text and photos about the goings on in your life. It's called your timeline, and anything else that you want to share. Anything that you see on the net, you want to share. A lot of places on the web you go, and you scroll down to the bottom or sometimes at the top of the page, and you'll see certain social media icons, especially Facebook and Twitter, where you can share what you're seeing on the net with your Facebook family and friends and whoever else wants to see it that you want to share it with. The menu on the left-hand side there, here you can navigate to other parts of Facebook, including upcoming events, photos, groups, and apps. This is the Facebook search bar and icons, okay? The number one over there, you got your Facebook or home will bring up the news feed, and then that's the home icon right there, including posts by you, your Facebook friends, or any groups that you are following. And then, of course, number two there, you can search Facebook for whoever you're looking for. But when you come up to your home page, like if you type in LeBron, as soon as you do, LeBron James' name is going to come up. Anybody else by the name of LeBron is going to come up. So you can search Facebook that way for certain people or events in your search bar. That allows you to search for anything you might find of interest on Facebook. Okay? And then you've got hold on a second. If you're looking for like on the contacts, that's number 3. Wait, I'm going ahead of myself here. Friends and people that you know, and that is people that you're in contact with, people that you're friends with on Facebook. You see people who have requested to be friends with you on Facebook. You can add a friend by simply clicking on that blue icon down there where it says add a friend. And then you can remove people too if you don't want to be friends with them. Okay? And then you've got watch, which is number 4, and you can search for and view any number of videos posted on Facebook. So when you click the watch video, whatever you want to see that people have videos posted, you can look for things for videos, or you can just browse through them and see what's piques your interest. The 5 is groups. By clicking on the groups icon, you can find and follow groups on Facebook users with similar interests and add your own posts to these. You can even start your own group by clicking on the groups. And then this is what that looks like. Groups that might be interests of you in accordance with your profile. So you say, I'm from Gulfport, Mississippi. There's a group with over 5,000 members with 10 posts a day on average. And it's popular with people in my area. So is Mississippi Gulf Coast Buy and Sell. And notice that one's got a significantly larger amount of members, over 23,000 members. And that was from last year, actually. This screenshot was taken from Facebook. And then you got gaming. By clicking on the gaming icon, you can find and play an incredible amount of games on Facebook. You can participate in gaming tournaments and even find and follow other players called streamers using Facebook. And that's what that looks like. You can follow the groups and just click on them to join in with them and play games and stuff. And then on number 7 over there is your profile or your timeline. By clicking on your profile icon, which you can personalize easily by uploading a desired photo, you will come to your personal Facebook page or timeline that is all your posts, photos, videos, friends, and groups that you are following. And that, in my case, is a profile page for an account I made simply for my web page that I made. We're going to do, near the end of this course of classes, a class on how to build your own web page. And that's one I built for this. So anyway. And then you create your own icon indicated by the plus sign. You can add a post or story or life event, page, group, event, or fundraiser with just one click. So if you click on that plus, we're giving you a bunch of different options. As you see right here, you can create a post, a story, life event, page, an ad, group, event, or fundraiser. Okay. Oop, I'm going too fast. And then Messenger. By clicking on Messenger icon, you can instantaneously chat with friends who are on Facebook. You can even phone and make a video call with them or send money. Note that this Facebook app has become so popular that now Messenger is a separate app from Facebook itself on most cell phones. So if you look on your phone, you might see what looks like the M, like with a lightning bolt. That is Messenger. And it's a part of Facebook, but it's not together with Facebook like it used to be. Now, one of the things that you can see is if you go on Messenger, you'll see these little green dots. If you see from the time when I took the screenshot, these friends of mine on Facebook were actually online at the same time as I was. So if I wanted to talk with them in real time, I can just click on that. And these are recent messages from me to friends of mine that I made. You can click all of them to see all of them in Messenger, but that's how you would stay in real-time contact with people without actually phoning them or even texting them. Sometimes people have used Messenger in place of their text app on their phone because they want to save data that they're using when they're on an internet connection. And that way, but the only problem with that is Messenger will often fill up your cell phone with so much data that I find in my own experience it's really not worth it. Even though I'm trying to save money, I end up having to go through a bunch of messages and stuff that are old that I would like to save at some point, but not necessarily on my phone. So anyway, you got your notifications. That's the little bar, the little bell there. By clicking on the notifications icon, you can see your and others' updates about activity on Facebook. You can go to your notification settings to change what you're notified about, how you're notified, and what you want others to be notified about you. Okay? That's kind of important because a lot of times, I know if you have notifications going on at all hours, you might get a notification that somebody found a new tube of toothpaste or a brand new type of toothpaste they love, and you're like, really? Okay. But you don't want to necessarily get all the notifications that people are going to be sending you. Okay? But you can tweak that by clicking on that. And then you got your account. And this is where it's very important when you click on your account. That is where you can adjust your privacy and settings according to whom you want to see what and to change passwords, etc. Now that is very, very important because I know a lot of you out there may have questions about the privacy of Facebook. You know, the story goes somebody's applying for a job and then their boss goes online and finds their account online and sees that they went out and partied, and all of a sudden they're not going to be up for that promotion anymore because they look crazy, and you don't want to give that impression. So you got to be careful about what you post and who you post it to. But when you go to your account, this is where you get access to your security and privacy settings. You just click on that little down drop arrow and you click where it says Settings and Privacy. And then when you click Settings and Privacy, you can do actually a privacy checkup, which will give you a bunch of options. And then when you click on that with your username and edit, you can do a lot of different ways of changing your contact information and everything, your email and everything. By clicking on the security and login command, you can easily check where you're logged in and, of course, change your password. In the privacy settings, you can change who sees your stuff. Here are the different privacy settings. You've got public, friends, friends accept. You may not want all your friends to see stuff. Specific friends, friends that you want to give a personal message out to. You can also message them that way. But if you do it on your timeline, you click friends accept, and they're going to just be the ones seeing that. And then only me, maybe sometimes you only want to post stuff to yourself. And then you can make a custom list which includes and excludes friends and lists. You can always change who sees what each time you create a post by clicking on, when you create a post, click on that down drop arrow and you're going to see every option given to you except for custom. Okay? So you have a lot of freedom as far as changing your privacy settings. And a lot of people don't know that, and they expect it to be automatic, but it's not. You got to take control over your life on what you put out, what you want other people to see about you. You know, it's like, you know, you don't run outside without any clothes on in your house. It's the same thing. You want to give yourself a certain amount of privacy by changing the settings on Facebook. Okay? That's really important. So if you got any questions, just drop me a line. My email is always there for people to drop me a line at. It's librarydude1999@gmail.com. Okay? Just be deterred when you do change your privacy settings, if you do it that way, by changing it like that you change the options back. Otherwise, each Facebook post thereafter will be sent to the same group. So if you're only posting stuff to yourself and then wondering why nobody is sending you anything, it's because nobody else can see what you're posting until you change it back. Okay, now we've got Twitter. And Twitter is a social networking website that's designed for finding and sharing short updates. In fact, each post or tweet, as they're called on Twitter, is limited to just 280 individual characters, and that includes letters, spaces, punctuation marks. So it's like just like a post-it note version of Facebook. Its brevity, its shortness, is actually a big part of what makes Twitter so popular. It's easy to quickly share what's happening in your world or follow along with a popular topic in real time. Because it's focused on short real-time updates, it's primarily used on cell phones and tablets, mobile devices. Okay? Twitter, how it works. Okay, sign up is easy. You just go to twitter.com and enter your name and phone number or your email to register. You will then be asked to create a username or a handle. It's like when you do a CB radio or ham radio. Will be very important because it will be how people will recognize you on Twitter. So you can make it something, if you're doing something for official stuff, you might want to put your name, but if it's going to be something for like a hobby or something and you want to just, talk about it, that you might want to use that, guy who likes to paint or something like that in my case. You will be then asked to add a profile and upload a header photo. This will help people recognize you on Twitter. If you don't do it when you register, you can always do it later. Finally, you'll be asked about your interest. This is optional, but if you answer, Twitter will prompt you to start following different accounts based on your interests. It will help you get you started. The Twitter feed on a PC looks like this, okay? And then on the phone, it looks like this. If you click on the little birdhouse down at the bottom of the page, that's to get to your main feed. If you click on your profile picture to get to the menu and to view and change your account settings, including privacy, you've got dim and dark mode, you've got the QVC banner if you want to scan something, and you also can edit or switch accounts by clicking that icon that's at the top, the middle right-hand side. And then you can search for subject matter always. You can search for it. You've always got to start with the hashtag symbol. You do the hashtag, remember, with the keyboard by pressing Shift and the number 3 on your keyboard. Okay, but you got to always enter, to search for something on Twitter, you've always got to use that hashtag first. Then you click the little stars to edit how your tweets will appear in the feed. You can change your content preference here. And then to tweet, you simply click the little bitty feather. You can get messages from that, from the little, looks like an email icon. And your notifications will be the little bell. And notice I got one on that. I don't use Twitter that much, but anyway, that's how you would use the Twitter feed on the phone. How to tweet, you click on the feather icon, you type your message out. Remember, it's no more than 280 characters total, including punctuation, symbols, and white spaces. That's the spaces between the letters, between the words. How to tweet, you can add usernames, quoted tweets, photos, and other media to your tweets, and they will not count against the tweet's 280 character limit. Now, if you copy and paste the URL website, meaning the http:// bbc.com, whatever, into a tweet, each one will count no matter as 20 characters, no matter how long it is. When you're done, just click on the little Twitter feed thing, and that's what it looks like on your phone. The tweet was sent. You press tweet, and your tweet has been sent. Pinterest is another social media platform that's very popular. While other social networks like Facebook and Twitter focus on personal sharing and status updates, Pinterest is all about collecting and sharing the things you find online. How Pinterest works: you search for Pinterest on the internet or download the app for your phone, just like you would do for Facebook and Twitter. You create an account. And sign up works the same as with Facebook and Twitter. You can, in fact, sign up with Pinterest using your Facebook account or with your Google account. On the welcome page, you can change your login name if you wish. In my case, I put Artist Dude 1999. On the next few pages, you'll be asked some questions ending with where your interests lie. These last questions will help Pinterest personalize your account to fit your needs. You can pick at least 2 categories what you want to explore. When finished, Pinterest will then gather for you, based on your chosen interest, some boards that are gathered groups of images other people and interests have made. Boards are made up of pins, and pins are ideas. They are links saved from around the web. The idea is for you to select images you see on Pinterest and anywhere else on the web or on your computer or camera or smartphone and pin them, meaning you save them, to a board you create. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The idea is for you to select images you see on Pinterest and anywhere else on the web or on your computer or on your camera or smartphone, and you pin them to a board you create. It's like a collection of images based on stuff you like. To create a board, you simply just click on the Save button of any image and you will get this pop-up if you're doing this from an image that's already on Pinterest. And then you're going to create a board. It will give you suggestions for the board that you want based on the image that you see. Now, I didn't write out anything with piano, but Pinterest recognizes that's a piano key diagram. And it gives me, names that I can use for the board. When you click on another image to pin, you'll see the boards you've created so that you can pin them accordingly. So if I get another piano image, which I saw, I named actually this board Piano Man, and it will give me an example, give me where to save it to. So it will have a list of your board names or give you some more board names to choose from. What's more, when you click on any image, below it you'll find images that are in some way related to it. You might as well choose several of these as well. With Pinterest, you'll find it's pretty easy to get sidetracked when it has so many images to offer. Just don't forget, if you get lost, just use the navigation button at the top of the Pinterest webpage. That's the back button. Both of the Pinterest and the Pinterest logo, that P right next to it, let me use the mouse here, that P right there, and home will bring you to the Pinterest homepage. Boards you have chosen to follow, so is like Twitter, will come up. Today we'll show you what's trending, what's new as per your chosen interest. And then again, you can always search for an image by simply clicking in the search bar up there and just type it in and then hit enter and you'll get some stuff. And then you got your notifications right there. There's your share button. The share means you can message via email the ideas that you come up with using Pinterest. And you can type out the email address of people that you know, or if you got some listing there. And then you've got your personal homepage, including all your boards, and the menu. And when you click on the menu options, it includes the settings where you can choose to keep your pins and boards private. You might not want everybody to see all the images that you're collecting. So you can go into settings and change it, okay? Note that these icons next to the image that you post and stuff, you'll find on every image that you see on Pinterest, which means that if you click the edit button, edit means you can edit your pins by moving them to different boards, making subfolders with them, each board you create, and typing notes on the selected pins. So you can type in a little note to it, and other people can see this if you let them. If it's in your settings that other people can see it. And then you've got your upload and share button, which means that by clicking on that, You can share pins with the profiles of people who created them and by means of social media and email. And you notice that if you click on that, you can share it to Facebook. WhatsApp is another social icon, or you can just click on email. And then, this is me. I'm sending it to my own email as a note to myself about teaching myself again how to play piano, which I learned as a kid. And then you got the More button in the middle, those three little dots. By clicking on the More icon, you can download the pin's image, get the web code for it, or for later browsing, or report it to interest if you feel the image is somehow a copyright violation. Okay. Now we're coming into LinkedIn, which is, I call it like a business version of Facebook. It's a popular social network whose sole purpose is all about professional networking. That is, building a group of contacts to help advance your career. How LinkedIn works: you go to the website, create an account, or get the app and do the same. It works the same as with Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. Note here, you can sign up just by using your Facebook account. Facebook is so popular, they know it, and the other social platforms will use that data to help create your account. The next step is just to put your name in. You get a verification. You got to verify that you're a real person. And then you got to do the second security check, which is like touch the arrows to roll the ball. And then once you create an account, you get what's called the home page. And you see at the top here, you got your menu. There's your search box, your home icon, network, jobs, messaging, notifications, me. We'll look at all this. Your profile, these are some terms that you're going to want to know. Your profile is LinkedIn's version of a resume. It's what people see when they find you on the website. Connection is a person that you've added to your LinkedIn network, similar to having a friend on Facebook. Okay? Connection is like having a friend on Facebook. Endorsement is when your connections vouch for the skills on your LinkedIn profile. Say like you're going up for an interview for a job, and maybe one or two of your friends worked with you in that job. Well, who better than to vouch for your skills in that particular job that you're applying for by asking that friend to do an endorsement for you. Okay? And then the recruiter is someone who works for a company to find new employees. Everybody knows this, but did you know that you could find your recruiter for the job you're looking for? You can find their profile on LinkedIn. You can find out what their interests are, what their experiences are. You can even do research on the company that you're applying for in LinkedIn. And then recommendation is another LinkedIn term. It's a short paragraph about your professional strengths written by one of your connections. It's like if you've attended my resume and job class, it's like having a summary statement, except it's written by one of your connections, one of your friends. This is my profile on LinkedIn. Shows you that I don't really do LinkedIn that much. I stay pretty busy at work, so I don't get that much time to really play around with it. But I've got 19 connections. I put my profile pic up there. Shows you where I've worked, where I went to school. And then the connections, these are a listing of some of my connections. There's Miss Angie Williams, who works with us at the library. And anyway, you can search for connections and search by name. And that's how that works. You can message these people just like you would with Facebook by clicking the message icon. The button right there. Then you got your navigation bar where you can look for jobs as well as associates and friends to include in your business network. You can also search here for businesses and business staff. It's very helpful when looking for a job. That's where you can, when you're looking for a job, and you might even find the profile of the person who's your interviewer on that. And when you look for a librarian job, this is the kind of stuff that will come up. So it shows you that was posted a week ago. They got 10 applicants already for that job, 3 applicants for there, and your home page, and it shows recent posts from your connections and groups. It's like your news feed for Facebook. Your network lets you look for other people whom you know in LinkedIn and add them as connections. And it's similar to friends in Facebook, like Facebook does. LinkedIn gives you suggestions based on your profile of people with whom to grow your network. So you're not having to do all the work by yourself. And this is where you just, when you find somebody that you might know, I actually went to grade school with Mr. Mark Schlogel there, so I click connect, and next thing you know, I'm friends with the person. Of course, they have to accept your friendship, so. Then you got jobs. When you click on jobs in the menu bar, you can search for jobs that match your profile. And then that's how that is. And notice this is a filter, so I can say not just librarian, but reference librarian, assistant librarian, public services librarian, and so on and so forth. You get messaging, which allows you to read all your LinkedIn messages at once. That's what that looks like. You just scroll down, and it's like we're looking at your inbox for your email account. Then you got your notifications, which shows your recent notifications, including letting you know when someone has viewed your profile. So somebody, this is a friend of mine, just a new message. That's actually my uncle there. And that's how that works. And then through the Me icon, you can change your settings and preferences. That's how that looks. You change your settings and privacy. You can view your profile. And you get all kind of helps, and you can manage. And finally, you can sign out. You know, when you're in a public place, you might want to always make sure you sign out so people can't steal your identity, including your work identity. Now, to make a connection, to add connections on LinkedIn, you select My Network. At the top of the screen, a list of people you may know will appear, along with any connection invitations you might have. If you would simply like to connect with somebody, simply click Connect. You can also search for somebody and click on Connect. We've already kind of gone over that. A dialog box will appear, and then you add a note to your invitation to the person you want to make connections with when you click that Connect button. And then you might write a short note. And it says here that LinkedIn members are more likely to accept invitations that include a personal note. Everybody likes the personal touch. And then when you're finished, you just click Done. And here's a tip for you. It's not the quantity of connections you have, but the quality. 50 strong connections is greater than 200 connections of people you don't know well. Okay? So I'm not too worried that I only have 19 connections with my LinkedIn account. I know these are people that I've had experience with in one way or another, that I'm actually good friends with, and who are well acquainted with my skills as a worker and many different jobs that I've had. So I can use that whenever I'm out there looking for a job or just want to build up my business profile. And number two tip is use your existing network. When you first create a LinkedIn profile, make sure to connect with people you already know. You can try syncing your email contacts and using LinkedIn search bar to find friends, classmates, and coworkers. So you can use your email contacts as a way to create a network for you on LinkedIn. And finally, tip number 3, ask for introductions from people. If you're trying to connect with people that you've never met, you should look to see if you've got any mutual connections. If so, you can ask your connections, that friends that you already know, for an introduction to this new connection. Be polite and explain why you're requesting the introduction, and give your connection an opportunity to decline the request. So you're not forcing yourself upon one of your connections, okay? That's good manners, what they call netiquette online. And also maintain your connection. After connecting with someone, remember to keep engaging with that person on LinkedIn. If they post in status updates, leave thoughtful comments. If they ask for recommendations or endorsements, try to fulfill the request in a timely manner. This should strengthen your connection, which could lead to new opportunities for you. Okay? There are many more social media apps out there. Here are just a few. For a more complete listing, try Googling social media apps and discover for yourself the social media world. Don't let yourself get intimidated by it, okay? Just make sure you go to your settings and check your privacy settings. Okay? You got WhatsApp, WeChat, Instagram, QQ, Qzone, TikTok, Weibo, and Reddit. Okay? Remember, if you got any questions about any of this or any of my other classes, my name is Jeff Conwill, Geoff. I do like my name spelled right, so please, Geoff Conwill at librarydude1999@gmail.com. Thank you for taking the time to watch this show, and we'll see you next time. I think we're doing email, so stay tuned.